Hey, how's it going, everybody? FalconAshe K here. I'm going to show off my one shelf of games. I do have games other places, but this is my shelf of semi-shame. Not really. So I'll go through the games that I have on this shelf, starting from the top, and work my way down. Here we go. So, get my fingers out the way. Up top here, we got some figurines, Star Wars characters. We got a, if you ever have a one of those games, the 20 questions, and you ask it different things, but it's a holocron. So if you ask it, if you think to yourself what thing it is, you know what I'm saying. You really know what I'm saying. It's 20 questions, but it knows what you're thinking. If you've got one of those, look it up. Q20, that's what it's called. Look it up. We got a Tsum Tsum of Luke Skywalker up yonder, and then a crate from a bunch of different what do they call those? Oh, they're little guys. Anyway, moving along. I have a puzzle cube from the Hellraiser series, but it's a Rubik's Cube. So it looks like one of those scary cubes, but it's a Rubik's Cube. Unfortunately, it's got the same pattern on both sides, so it's not that you're going to be able to solve it really easy. Alright, board games wise, we got Machi Koro. I've got the Millionaire's War expansion and expansion, the Farmer's expansion. I think that's what it's called. I don't have the Target nighttime only one. Summoner Wars. I have at least, I want to say, like 18 factions in there, so I'll be playing that game for a while. It gets to the table most of the time. Play-Doh. You gotta ask. I play Dungeons & Dragons, so if you need figurines, get yourself out some Play-Doh, model it whatever you need to have represent. Cheap way for figurines, miniatures I should say. And if you like the way you've molded it, if you have molds, just let it dry overnight and then you can paint it, the usual stuff. We got Isle of Skye up there with the Druids expansion. Dixit, one of the games that I said you should have. It's got code names printed on it. I don't care if I write on my games because they are just games. Some people cringe at having collectible items being written on. It's not a collectible because they have hundreds of these things. It's not a limited time only. If it was limited, yeah. It has code names in there. Code names and code names duet. I went to one of the Michaels during the Christmas time, and I picked up a pack of Christmas tiles that can be used in that game too. Down here, being a Dungeon Master, games and stuff, I have notebooks, graph paper, cards. Yeah, you know those note cards, pencils. My art thing I should start using. Also using games, I have to have snack bags. So snack bags for organizing my games. Now over here, I got the 2 boxes for my Star Wars Destiny. I like them; they're cool, so I keep them around. Same thing with my Dice Masters Faerun. They're all empty, but they're still cool to hang around with. Take a breath. Clank, Sunken Treasures Expansion 4. Clank, which is going to be in the next shelf. Summoner Isle, one of the Kickstarters. I'll do a video on all the Kickstarters I've done over the years. Got Heroes, God's Play. Have not even played that yet, but I have played Summoner Isle and Big Trouble in Little China. I have the expansions for what you call it, Marvel Noir, Spider-Man, Paint the Town Red, and what's his name? Deadpool. Expansions in there. So that'll expand my Big Trouble in Little China. I played it solo once, and once with another friend, but he wanted to play it on the highest difficulty, and we got our butts handed to us, so he wants to play it again, but, easier. Alright, I'll go back up here. I love playmats. I know they're a luxury item, but I just prefer having them. I've got Smash Up. I've got what's this one? One of the Kickstarter playmats. There's another one here. A couple other playmats. I'm going to say playmats until I say playmats. These are also Board Game Geek. Go to their store. These are good for holding cards. Zoom out. Holding cards, and also when you're playing Lord of the Rings, the card game, which is down there, you can put your resources and have the different heroes out, and that's how I used it. My friend didn't like it that much, but I think they're pretty cool. Storyline, Scary Tales. There's 2 stories in there, but I also have, for a while, that was where I was keeping my Carcassonne, but I don't have it anymore. Twilight of the Gods. Still haven't played that game either. Eminent Domain, I've played at least 4 times. A fantastic drafting game. You'll see Star Wars the card game, Galactic Ambition expansion. What actually is in there is the what's called not Avalon, Resistance, the Resistance game. But I have a deck of Star Wars cards, playing cards that had the different characters on them. So I sleeved those, and I'm going to be using that for that. And then you can call it Rebellion instead of Resistance. So that's what's in there. Star Wars Family Feud. Yes, that's behind here. Star Wars Family Feud, fantastic. Still haven't played that yet, but it's in there. Bob Ross. I'm a pop collector. I also have another pop item. This guy looks cool. He's from Fallout, but at least a Bethesda game. I don't know. Flash, the real Flash, not that Justice League Flash. Scrolls and scrolls and scrolls of playmats. I don't know if I should do a playmat video. Comment below if you want to see a playmat video. Legendary Boss Monster. Star Wars figurines. I am a Star Wars fan. So there's this is a limited edition vinyl pop. Vinyl. What was it called? These guys. They're called Vinylmations by Disney. So I have Princess Leia. I have if you ever seen the movie Black Hole. It's an old 1970s something movie by Disney, and Vincent was one of the robots. I like Bob too, but I can find Vincent, so that was kind of cool. But this is a helmet with Princess Leia, and on the side you can see her blaster and her standing there. It's pretty cool. I like that. We're gonna move these guys over for a second. Drop down. Because over here is the Trivia Pursuit area. I've got Trivia Pursuit Horror Movie Edition. I've got, move that down there. I've got Trivia Pursuit Christmas box, but the box was so huge, and there's a small deck of cards in it, so I put it in an organizer for cards. What do they call those? Cards. I've got Harry Potter Trivia Pursuit, and in there we also see Vampire Smarts, which is a vampire trivia game dealing with the old style Twilight, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and stuff like that. And then there's also Meme Disney Edition. I'm thinking of getting a regular Meme and throwing that together with those, so I can extend that game. Alright, put these guys back. Yeah. Bibba dabba dabba. And Baba DB. Those are sounds. And if I move this, behind here is Panzer Blitz, which is an older game that I have from my father's collection. I'm going to work this way. So there's Clank, deck builder game. You're battling through a dragon's dungeon. Go down into the dungeon, get the best treasure, go back up. Fantastic. Smell Smashers. I've been talking about that. Like, the Scrabble, but you're playing cards to battle monsters. Betrayal House on the Hill also has the Widow Walks expansion in it, and the upgrade kit, because the cards for the actual thing had little clips on the side that fell off, and I've played that game at least 3 times. Spell Smashers twice. Clank at least 10 times. And I also was in a tournament, which I didn't do good, but I still had fun playing it. H.P. Lovecraft's King of Kingsport Festival. It's a 3 to 5 player game, so it's not hitting the table as much as I'd like. It's a bear to set up, but I haven't played it. This is Scorchy. He is a Skeletor, or fur skeleton. I've had him since when we went to one of the festivals, the grand Renaissance fairs. And these guys were on the same shelf as he was, so I had to get them. They're like, what are they, what you call it, versions of the, who's it's, steampunk dragons. So I have silver and black and gold and, alright, over here now. Lord of the Rings, the card game. I have the Voice of Isengard expansion. The Voice of Isengard. And I have the complete set for Isengard. And I have complete set of heroes, something or other. It'll come to me sometime. I've got the Hobbit expansion. The Four Moors expansion for the Lord of the Rings, the card game, also the LCG. You can see LCG in the corner there. My shadow's killing me, huh? Here we go. Carcassonne. I don't keep it in the box because this was part of the first expansion. And it came with a bag. You can put all the stuff in. The board, the scoreboard, and the rules are right here. So why keep it in a box that will take up space when you can have it portable? These are rules in here for Growl, which I'm still waiting for. It's in the mail. It's on its way. What else? I got some other... what else do I have in here? Oh, 11 Ways to Play Solitaire. I have the rules for that in there. This board is for the Conquest of the Empires game, which is on the opposite side of the room. Then we have in here, I have my pre-made decks for Lord of the Rings, the card games. Star Wars, the card game. I have most of the cards for those, which is going to be down here. I have them in the boxes because they just take up so much space. Oh, alright. Fidget Cube, which is Darth Vader themed Fidget Cube. That's pretty cool. Another Darth Vader helmet, which goes with the Stormtrooper here. Sorry if you're getting motion sickness on that one. This little character looks like R2-KT, which is another story. If you look up R2-KT, it's a story about a girl who loved Star Wars, and the 501st made a life-size R2 droid for her, and she liked pink, so they made her pink. And this is a Build-A-Droid from Star Wars. Star Wars. Hollywood Kingdom. Hollywood Kingdom? Hollywood. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, so I went to the park, and I made, it looks like Mickey, because the coloration like Sorcerer. So that's got the Sorcerer hat. And they're Build-A-Droids, except for this one. She's part of another set. And coffee. I've got different flavors of coffee down here. I'm a coffee fanatic. Over here we got the different coffee K-cups to fill it up. I have a cube with post-it notes on it, but I also found this little Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I'm an 80s kid, sort of. So it matches the same color, so I had to put it on there. Okay, over yonder. Ooh, we've got a dice cube thing. I forgot who. Oh, here you go. I'm doing some advertisements. Easy Roll Dice Company, and it's Cthulhu themed, and you'll see why in a moment. Dungeon Roll. I have most of the cards for that. Excellent solo game. Also playing with friends. Card games. Tins. You know, we love tins when they don't fit anywhere. Crimson Creek. Still haven't got this stable. This is one of the Kickstarters I backed. Fantastic looking game. You're deducing who's the killer, and it possibly could be one of you in a tin. It's tins, I tell you. Villages of Valeria. You are building buildings to attract adventurers. Another Kickstarter. You hear Kickstarter. This is a dice tower. Also a Kickstarter that I've done. I'll show that later. King Domino. A very inexpensive game that if you want to start also your collection. King Domino. Throw that in there. You're building your territory. Drafting different domino type tiles. The more land that you have of that type, you'll get more points, of course. Alright. We got Titan Race. Still haven't played that game. Beneath Nexus, I haven't played that game. That's also one of my Kickstarters I backed. We have up here Tiny Epic Zombies. I got 2 copies, one to give it to a friend, and King of Tokyo, Pandemic, In the Lab, and the State of Emergency expansion is in here. Alien Artifacts, a card drafting game, trying to build up your resources to make your, I don't know, you're doing something in the game, and you're doing it good. You got to do it before someone else does it. Survive. Yeah. What if I told it like that? Would that drive you crazy? Okay. I've got that to the table at least twice. Pandemic I played at least 14, 15 times, maybe more. Pandemic Legacy, I got through that with my friend Tim, and it was fantastic. Excellent storyline. I was thinking of using the pieces in that game and using it in the regular Pandemic, but that will kind of like spoil it for some other people that haven't played the Legacy version of it. Wow. Alright. Cthulhu themed, because I have my Elder Sign is right down here. I have 2 expansions in here for Elder Sign. I have the outside of the thing, you use it and this and that and blah blah blah. I got 2 expansions in there. They got Omen Ice, Unseen Forces. Here we got The First Martian, which is like Robinson Crusoe, but on the planet Mars. Makes sense, huh? And then I can do a shout out to Rodney Smith, because he helped with the Watch It Play video to figure out how to play that game. Because you have to. Milestones, excellent game. I got it for cheap. I think it was $10 or something like that. Same thing with Merchants Marauders. Actually, Merchants Marauders I got from using my Visa points or something of that nature, and it shipped in like 4 days or something of that nature. Pretty cool. And here is the print and play of Growl, which is on the boat, like I said, on its way. I can't wait to play that. Alright, we got Star Wars Destiny. I've got the father and son combo. Good guys are in this one, bad guys in the other guy. Villains, I should say. They're not bad guys, they're just villains. Okay. Alright, so I got a deck of Magic in here, even though it was Star Wars the card game. I didn't own Star Wars the card game at the time. So I have Princess Leia and her sleeves that I have in here for my Magic deck are Princess Leia. Yep, one-handed. I did it all. There's the scum, the Empire, the humans and stuff like that. What are they called? Oh, Sith. It says Sith right there. And Rebels, Jedi, and Scoundrels are in here. Unstable Unicorns in the back there. Not safe for women, for work expansion. Not safe for women. That's right. Wonderland. Haven't got this to the table. Beth Zobel. Excellent art. This was a Tabletop Day exclusive product. I picked it up somewhere, but I'm like, that's pretty cool. I didn't know it was like a limited thing. Star Trek, but it's Uno. Star Trek Uno. Can't go wrong. Tiny Epic Defenders, the first edition. Backyard Builder Treehouse. That's when the Rhino games. I gotta pull it out. Oh, I have Tiny Epic Defenders second edition, so that's why that's in there. Not that these are non-played games, it's just that they're small and you can fit them in there. Alright. Yeah, Crash Games was having a Kickstarter to try to get their games out, because they had hundreds of them. They were trying to save the company. And I helped with nothing, because the amount of money that they raised didn't save the company at all. But it's an excellent game. Building your own treehouse. Back there is Z. District Z, which was another Kickstarter. I should bring it out. Oh, Harvest Dice. Still haven't bought it, or still haven't played it yet. These are all quick and easy games, I should say. Zombie Dice. Bad Lighting. Coins, fake coins, just for other games if you need to have them. District Z. Run, Fight, and Die. You're trying to escape the onslaught of zombies while you're running through the city. Fantastic game. Solo play. Here we got Wizards of the Wild, a Kickstarter game. So I've got that. Oh, then over here we also have Steve Finn game. Cosmic Run Rapid Fire. Roll and Write game. You're trying to get yourself through your ships to a planet, and your friends trying to stop you with their dice. Fantastic game. He was actually up at the Portal store teaching this. He didn't have the rule book, but it was still a fun game. I have one of the Unlock Adventures. This is the easiest one, they said. I got it at clearance at GameStop, so that was pretty cool. I have the series of the Dark Tales. Fantastic game. You're trying to stop your friends from meeting their requirement, and at the same time you're doing your thing. You're just playing for points. The game is fantastic. I have both expansions. Then down there you also see I have what was the old game? It was an old game. Multiverse Sum. A bunch of little games. Dice, Space Invader Dice, another roll right game. That hit the table soon. Soon. We're gonna have a collapsing down over here. Doesn't matter which way I put them back because they all fit very well in this Kallax shelf. There's dice. Unlock. Oh no. Tiny Epic Defenders. Stable Unicorns. Fantasy Flight Games. Make some dice. I got them. They were cheap. I don't know what to use them for. We'll stick that with you. Unstable Unicorns. Actually, look, I just made more room for more stuff. Alright, I'm going to move these to the floor, because that's where I'm kneeling on. Alright, so here's some Destiny dice. I got a couple of sets in there. Resources. And the same thing with these are Dooku and other people, Phasma, and the dice to go with those sets. A Kaido. My wife got that for me recently. That should be hitting the table next time I play. And this little lady down here, well, I should say guy, I don't know. It's raspberry colored. That has my Dice Master stuff in it. So that's pretty cool. Over there we got notebooks, D&D stuff. Some dice that my players would be using. Put that back up there. And this over there. Alright. I'm giving you a lot of nothing. Alright, Growl. We got Growl. Cosmic Run, I didn't put that in there. Will it fit? Of course it will. I got Kokoro. I played Avenue the first time up at the game store, at the Portal game store, and I fell in love with it. So this was a newer version of it, dealing with the Kodama storyline, or Kodama universe. So that's pretty cool. Purge. 6 different factions. You're trying to take care for planets and stuff like that, and all sorts of things. Pretty cool. There's my other copy of Zombie. Tiny Epic Zombies. Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Tiny Epic Defender with the expansion. The sleeve is useless. Other than that, it's an excellent game. One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Daybreak expansion, but in this actually have collapsible card deck holders that you can put together and hold decks of cards so they don't fall over. Especially if you're playing card games that have sleeves. Infinity Shards, this also has the expansion in there. So that's an excellent game. It's another deck builder, but you're powering up your hero, and some of the cards actually do more damage based on your level of your hero in expertise. I reuse boxes because that saves the environment. Here we have the Aliens set. Having a little thing. And then here I got Predator. And there's my One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Dropping stuff. Here I have deck boxes so I can hold my decks of cards in there. I got the Z-Bins, which was also a Kickstarter. Imagine that. They're falling over. That. Steve Finn Games. Like I said, he was up at the thing, the Portal store. So I got Sunset Over Water. I bought it that day, I think, or I got it online. I think I bought it at the store because they had it actually in stock. Enchanters. This is if you've ever played Diablo or Diablo 2. You're playing on a rack of you're creating your own weapons and abilities on a track of adventure. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's a really fun game. Yeah. There you go. Then I got Maiden's Quest down there. If you have Maiden's Quest, you can play with other friends, or you're playing as a maiden trying to get out of a dungeon by yourself. Stress on my back, I tell you. Alright, I got a couple of decks of cards here. These are my bad lighting. Holy crap. Decks of cards for Keyforge. I have a few. I don't know why that's over here like that. Alright, and then work my way back up. But that's pretty much my shelf. Some people will ask me in the video behind me, which is where I sit in the chair, but behind me is videos. These are DVDs, except for over here. These are PlayStation 2 games. So, yep, that's my story. This is one of the other guides that I put together. Came from Japan. It's Grimlock. And then next to him he's got Swoop. So those are the guys that are behind me in the videos. These are all my superhero videos. Superheroes. And then we got the horror movies or mysterious supernatural. There you go. Like I said, PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 1 games, and GameCube games. So that's my story. Come around this way. Hope you like my Shelf of Shame, which some games I play, some games I don't have a chance to play. Because they're 3 players and I usually have just one other friend come over. But bringing stuff up to the game store, I can get some stuff played. That's my story. I'm going to keep saying that. That's bad. So, thanks for my walk through my shelf. Comment below whatever you want to have. Questions. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks for stopping by. FalconAshe K, out.